What turns younger women on about older men that no one talks about? Most men think younger women only go for older guys because of money, status, or some daddy issues cliche. That's surface level thinking. The real reason is deeper, and most men miss it entirely. Younger women are subconsciously drawn to older men because of specific psychological triggers rooted in dominance, safety, and earned detachment. These aren't preferences, they're instincts. And when you learn to activate them, attraction becomes effortless. Most men try to prove their worth. High V value men let her qualify to them. Most men talk to impress. High value men create space and let her chase clarity. You're about to learn 8 hidden psychological switches that flip the attraction script and give older men a quiet power most guys never even recognize. Let's get into it. 1. You don't flinch when she withholds approval. Younger women are used to emotional bait, guys trying to win their attention. But when an older man doesn't react to silence, teasing, or emotional coldness, her system malfunctions. Why? Because it signals emotional self-sufficiency. Psychologically, this creates loss aversion. If your attention isn't easy to earn, it becomes high value. That silence, it's a mirror, and it forces her to self-assess. Use it deliberately. Stand still, stay calm, and let her feel the gap. High-status men don't chase, they observe. 2. You respond, you don't react. Younger women subconsciously test men by creating tension, drama, delays, contradictions. It's all emotional pressure. When you respond slowly instead of reacting impulsively, you signal nervous system control. Behavioral science shows emotional regulation is rare and magnetic. She'll feel safer, more feminine, and more curious around a man who doesn't flinch. Take longer pauses. Breathe before you speak. Let her energy rise while yours stays grounded. This isn't weakness. It's power disguised as stillness. 3. You create boredom on purpose. Most men try to entertain, but when you intentionally create dullness, it reveals a deeper frame. Why? Because her brain is wired for reward-seeking patterns. If there's no dopamine drip, she leans in seeking it. That moment you withhold stimulation, you become the variable. She becomes the chaser. In a world of oversaturation, the man who creates silence becomes the signal. Let her feel the discomfort of not being entertained and watch how fast she tries to engage. 4. You make her explain her value. Most men lead with validation. You flip it. When you calmly ask, "What do you look for in a man?" or "What keeps you grounded?" you shift her into qualifying mode. Psychologically, this taps into emotional displacement. She projects value onto you because she's working to earn yours. Let her feel the tension of being evaluated. You're not being mean, you're being selective. That one shift frames you as the prize without saying a word. 5. You let her sit in her contradictions. Younger women often say one thing then do another. Most men rush to fix the disconnect. You don't. You let it hang in the air. Why? Because discomfort breeds emotional accountability. When she says, "I'm not looking for anything serious," but texts you 3 times in a row, you don't call it out. You let it echo. The silence forces reflection, and that reflection turns into obsession. Let her own the inconsistency. You're not here to clarify. You're here to witness. 6. You subtly break rhythm. Patterns comfort the average mind, but the disruption of pattern activates arousal. So when your eye contact drops mid-sentence or you stop texting back mid-laugh, it triggers anticipation anxiety. Evolutionarily, unpredictability equals high mating value. It suggests options. It suggests depth. It keeps her invested. Never be erratic, but be unavailable in waves. Let her feel the emotional pattern, then break it. Inconsistency in microdoses builds obsession in macro forms. 7. You treat her beauty as assumed. When a younger woman flaunts her looks, most men reward it. You don't. You treat it like background noise. Expected, not exceptional. This flips her ego circuit. She's used to dominance through beauty. You strip that power, not cruelly, but calmly. Why? Because when beauty is no longer leverage, she's forced to lead with character. She leans in, searching for your validation. You've reframed the dynamic without saying a word. 8. You don't explain your detachment. Most men overjustify their time, their schedule, their quiet. You don't. That absence of explanation signals earned confidence. Psychologically, this taps into pre-selection. If you're detached, it's assumed others are keeping your attention. That creates urgency and internal competition. Let your distance speak. She'll project a story onto your silence, and that story will elevate your value far more than any words could. If you're done explaining yourself to women who haven't earned your presence, this channel is your edge. Subscribe if you're not just aging, but ascending into the rare kind of man who leads with depth, not desperation.